What is up, comic fam? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. Here today with another new comic book day. We're going to take a look at what's coming out, specifically what books made it to my pool list or the Legion list. But before we do that, check this out. Quick shout out to the channel sponsors, Big Time Collectibles. Thank you guys for sponsoring the monthly giveaway for the channel members. Be sure to check them out at bigtimecollectibles.com. And also a huge shout out to Justin Comics over on Instagram. If you need anything cleaned or pressed, be sure to go over there and give him a follow, hit him up, and use that promo code WeAreLegion to take advantage of the special offer he has running right now. All right, so let's get into it. It's actually a lot better week this week than there has been for the past couple of weeks. Let me get this going on up here. There we go. So I think the last week was like the smallest week I've had in months. So this week it's coming back with a vengeance, and it's starting off with Detective Comics issue number 1060. We're in the second issue of this little kind of space filler Riddler storyline going on. I'm not even sure if this is the real Riddler, but it was a cool story. They were focusing on the judge and some court workers are getting targeted. Some riddles left behind, and there's this lingering riddle about when is a criminal not a criminal. So I'm thinking that this might not even be the real Riddler, but this is still Mariko Tamaki writing it. We do know that Ron B is going to be taking over the series, so it feels like this is just kind of space filler until he does, and I'm really looking forward to that more than anything. But I did enjoy this last issue. Ivan Reis is still in the interiors, and that is always a good time. And next up, we have Action Comics 1043. So we're into the next little era of the War World storyline here, where Clark has started this uprising. It's actually gaining some steam, and he even went head-to-head with Mongol. And we're finally seeing a kind of a break in his armor, where Mongol is really not all powerful as he looked. He kind of lost one to Superman, and he kind of let his pride get in the way of not killing him sooner, kind of just playing with him. We still have Midnighter running around trying to free Apollo and just wreaking havoc out on his way. But I've been pumped about this. Philip Kennedy Johnson is really writing Superman in a way that every issue I'm just pumped. It's like an epic on like the Lord of the Rings scale, but I'm definitely excited for that. Next up, this is part 3 of Banner of War, and I'm not excited about this at all. This is Hulk issue number 7, Donny Cates' destruction of the character with this whole Starship era. Even on the cover, it looks like he's like flying a jetpack with a rocket coming out of his rear end. It's just ridiculous, but Hulk and Thor fighting each other. Hulk doesn't know what up is down, and Thor's just hanging out with a haunted toolbox. If you don't understand any of that, that means you're living in reality. So on to the next book. Department of Truth, issue number 18. So big shout out to James Tynion, who's got nominated for numerous Eisner Awards this year, rightfully so. Some books I'm not really feeling, but Department of Truth is one that was on the list, and I'm definitely feeling it. This is just every issue is fun. If you're into conspiracy, if you're into all these twisted, turny, like highly complicated storytelling, this is the book for you. I just love every single issue. I skipped the synopsis on this one because I've learned that every synopsis is pretty much containing spoilers unintentionally for the issue. But we'll see where this one goes. I'm excited to dive into it. Next up, we have Batman Beyond the White Knight, and this is issue number 3 from Sean Gordon Murphy. And this has been a blast. It's the Batman Beyond era of the whole White Knight universe that Sean Gordon Murphy has constructed. And we saw in that last issue the explanation to how Bruce Wayne was seeing Jack Napier, or better yet, the Joker. And he has like this implant in his head that was put there by Jack Napier back in volume 1. And so he has a little trusty companion. We saw the de-evolution of Barbara and Dick Grayson's relationship. And now he's kind of just a diehard with the GTO program. We saw a little bit of how Terry got his hands on the suit and the mysterious billionaire benefactor that was trying to play him for a fool. And we're going to see where that kind of goes. And I'm excited to see these two characters come together like butt cheeks, because we know that Batman has got his own brand new suit that was introduced in the last pages. And we also had a bomb dropped on us, which I won't spoil in this one, but it kind of puts more relevance to that third volume that was focused on Harley Quinn that wasn't that great. So I'm hoping there's more of that really kind of lifts that third volume up. It was definitely the weakest of the bunch. Next up, we have Punisher number 3 from Jason Aaron. So that last issue was a little hit and miss for me. There was a little bit of weird introduction to it, but the overall story is really cool, with Frank getting like this weird mantle in the Hand organization, where it's even seeing signs that he is being possessed by this god of death that they worship, and it looks like he's about to be going toe-to-toe with the god of war himself, Ares. So we always find Frank Castle in these weird situations, like being turned into Franken-Castle or the Cosmic Ghost Rider. Now he's being turned into like the god of death. So it's definitely on brand for Punisher. The artwork is stellar. It's a fast-paced, dynamic storytelling, and it's got this really cool twist to it where his wife is alive, and we don't know how or why yet, but we are going to see where it goes from here. Next up, Eisner Award-nominated writer Ram V's amazing run on Swamp Thing continues with issue number 13 right here. We just got introduced to a brand new avatar, never before seen. It's the avatar of industry, and we're seeing how it's going to, where its footing is going to take place. Right now, it looks like it's set in Detroit, like a famous city known for kind of like just falling off the map. So we've got a couple of, we have a Stormwatch character that has now been introduced into the series, making a cameo in a few issues here. I'm excited to see how he, I think it's Jack Hawksmoor, see how he plays into it and how he kind of gets along with Swamp Thing, and really seeing Levi come back from his little brink of death and being trapped in the green. This has been a phenomenal series. Ram V is writing this in a way that Alan Moore would be proud of, so excited to continue it. And here's the final issue of Teen Titans Academy. So this run ends at this issue, and this is just going to be probably just a filler issue, just sending them off on their way and leaving it open-ended because we don't know what comes next yet. Nothing has been announced for a new series. I'm assuming they'll wait till after the Dark Crisis stuff or somewhere in the middle of it before we really start finding out what's going to happen with the Teen Titans or the Titans per se. But we know this isn't the end of them. Series has been running strong since it first came out in different iterations. So I've enjoyed this. It's had its highs, it's had its lows. I'm going to be sad to see it go, but I'm going to be even more excited for what comes next. Next up, Aquaman issue number 3. This has been a blast. We have a bunch of sleeper cells that have been planted by Atlantis all over the planet. We don't know how long they've been there. We don't know how much of this Aquaman knows or doesn't know. There's a huge rift between Arthur and Jackson on where they stand. We have Black Manta working side by side with Arthur, and Jackson will not stand for it. So there's division amongst the Atlanteans. There's problems going on in the world, and they cannot get it right to go attack the problem. They're at each other's throats. This has been a blast. I'm really enjoying it. It's pretty much the only Aquaman title out there to read right now. And I even had the pleasure of meeting up with Chuck Brown, the writer of Aquaman, and getting some stuff signed and some cool prints, everything a few weeks back. That was a good time. And he did say, I did ask him directly, knowing that this series does have a definite end coming, what's coming next. And he said they were not 100% sure, but they are sitting down and having meetings about what direction to go currently. So all good things come to an end, but it's never the final end. Next up, we have Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 3. Everything you need to know about this book is in the title of this book, and if you're not reading it, the only thing you should be doing differently is actually reading it, because it is a blast. Freddie Williams is doing the art on it. He's doing a stellar job. It's just fun. Nothing much else to it. The next issue of Power Rangers Universe number 6, and I think this is going to continue maybe with, this might be the end of this, or might be another one. I don't know. This should be the last one. They've done these matching covers, one for each color Ranger, and this is the 6th Ranger here, the Green Ranger. I don't know if they'll try to do a White Ranger or anything, but they need to end it. First couple issues were god awful. I stopped reading it. My son loves the covers and how they match, and they just sit in his toy box pile. So this one will get picked up. It'll get put right there, and I'll end up reading it one day if I ever feel the need to or have nothing else to read. But something that I'm going to read as soon as I get my hands on it is We Live, issue number 3 by the Miranda brothers right here. Again, I skipped the synopsis on this. Don't want any clues as to where it's going. We just know that Hitoto and his sister are off to try to find the source, the break in the source of their powers, as well as the military team went off to find a new city, a new safe haven to live in, and they all got attacked. The issues hit the fan. It's looking hopeless at every angle. And we're going to see where these two teams go and if they converge and what's going to happen. We just know it's going to get a lot crazier before it gets any better. So that's everything that's on my pool list for this week. If you want to know what my number 1 pick for the week is and why, be sure to check out the Comic Bets channel. Every Sunday, he uploads a video where him and I give you one book you should consider picking up for this coming week and why. And also, if you're ever in the Augusta area, be sure to hit up my LCS, the Augusta Book Exchange. They're the keepers of my comics, the guardians of my pool box. They always make sure everything I'm looking for is safe and secure every week. When I get there, you'll find no better customer service anywhere. Be sure to stop in and tell Paul and Donna I said hello, and we are Legion. Until next time, guys,